In part 1 of our video series on how to confidently choose your articles correctly for all your nouns, we are looking at what articles are and why we need to use them. And then I will give you a simple 5-step approach to choosing articles for all your nouns when they are used generally. So let's get started with thinking about what articles are and why we need to use them. Articles are a type of determiner. Determiners give us important additional information about our nouns, just like the packaging and labels on the food we buy at the supermarket help us understand what ingredients they are made from. Now, there are various different types of determiners in English grammar, but our default determiners are articles. When there is no other determiner in front of a noun, we need to use an article. The purpose of an article is to tell us if the noun they are introducing us to is undefined, which means it is being used generally or is as yet unknown to us, or if it is defined, which means it is being used specifically or is known to us already. There are 3 articles to choose from in English grammar: the zero article, which is invisible, the indefinite articles a and and the definite article the. Articles come before nouns and phrases that are performing the function of a noun. A noun that is being described by one or more adjectives in front of it forms a noun phrase, and its article or other determiners go in front of the whole phrase. So, to help you develop your own practical abilities to use articles correctly every time, let's start by working through 5 simple steps to article choice when using a noun in general to refer to a particular thing or number of things. The first step is to identify nouns that might need an article. Being able to recognize nouns when we come across them is really important. Here are a couple of ways to help you pick out your nouns from any sentence. Firstly, scan your sentence and see which words you know that refer to things, concepts, feelings, creatures, people, or places. These will be your nouns. For example, in the sentence, "The woman placed the bowl on the chopping board, added the lettuce and the other ingredients, and then drizzled the olive oil over the salad before tossing it with the spoons that she had found in the drawer." If we scan for the names of things, it's not too hard to identify woman, bowl, chopping board, lettuce, ingredients, olive oil, salad, spoons and drawer as the words most likely to be nouns, which is exactly what they all are. Another way to pinpoint your nouns is to firstly find the verbs in your sentence, and then to see if they have either subjects or objects. Subjects are who or what is doing the action of the verb, and objects are who, whom, or what is receiving the action of the verb. Being that subjects and objects usually involve people, places, concepts, or things, there is a good chance these words will include nouns. So, if the woman placed the bowl on the chopping board, the verb here is placed. The subject or person doing the placing is the woman, a noun, and the object or thing being placed is the bowl, which is also a noun. If you can't find a noun as a subject or object of a verb, they might have been replaced by a pronoun, which are used to stand in for a noun already mentioned, or they might be gerunds, which is when a verb behaves like a noun, or even a whole phrase that might be doing the job of the noun. Things can get a bit more complicated when the subject or object of a verb is a whole phrase rather than a single noun, and we'll dig into how to identify nouns for article choice when they are part of phrases in more depth in part 5 of this series, which you will find linked below. For now, let's assume we are dealing with individual standalone nouns. Once we have identified our noun, our second step is to see if there is another determiner already in front of it. There are quite a few different sorts of determiners, but in general, if there is another word in front of the noun that is telling us something about its quantity, ownership, placement in relation to something else, or a question word, it is probably a determiner. So we might have this strawberry, your strawberry, two strawberries, many strawberries, or some strawberries. Each of these words is a determiner, and when there is another determiner in front of our noun, we can forget about articles. Their job is already being done. But nouns always need some kind of determiner in front of them, and if there is not one already there, we need to use an article. So once we have found a noun without another determiner in front of it, the third step is to look at the context of the sentence and figure out if it is undefined or defined. Undefined means that it is being used to refer to something in general, that it is one as yet unknown thing or some things from all the options available. Defined means that it is something specific, unique, or is already known to us. Please give me a strawberry. Here, strawberry is general and unknown. I am asking for any one strawberry from all the strawberries available. But then, the strawberry you gave me tastes good. Here, the strawberry is specific because it is the specific one that you gave me. The fourth step is to see if the noun is countable and singular, or if it is countable plural or uncountable. Countable nouns are ones that can have a number in front of them, like one strawberry or two strawberries. And uncountable nouns cannot have a number in front of them. Love, information, money, justice, happiness, water, or strawberry ice cream. The fifth and final step of our process is to choose our articles. This is really easy. Undefined nouns used in general or when they are unknown to us and are countable singular take an indefinite article a or an. I ate a banana and an apple. Undefined nouns used in general or when they are unknown to us when they are countable plural or uncountable take an invisible zero article. He ate bananas and strawberries. We all eat food and drink water. The happiness we felt to receive justice and achieve freedom was unbelievable. And all defined nouns, when they are referring to something specific or already known to us, whether they are uncountable or countable singular or countable plural, take a definite article the. The food I ate today includes the bananas and the strawberries I had in my fruit salad. The knowledge and the wisdom he gained from his grandfather influenced the judgment he brought to his work. That's all there is to our standard 5-step rule to choosing the right articles for your nouns when they are used generally. Let's have a look at a couple more examples. My phone is broken. In this sentence, our noun is phone, but it already has my, which is a possessive adjective type of determiner in front of it, therefore no article is required. Or some people eat too much food. The two nouns in this sentence are people and food. There are also two quantifier determiners, some in front of people and much in front of food, so no article is required for either noun. However, when we find sentences with no other determiners in front of nouns, we need to use articles. For example, I have a friend who is the friend I have always dreamed of. Here, our noun friend is being used twice in the sentence. The first time it is being used in general, I have one as yet undefined friend out of all the potential friends I might have in the world, and in the context of the sentence it is unknown. We have not yet heard about this friend. And because it is countable and singular, an indefinite article a works well. And then for the second instance of friend, we use the, because friend is now the specific friend I have always dreamed of, and because it has already been mentioned, the noun friend is now known to us. Here's another example. Friends like to give each other support and help. The support and the help we get from the friends we have is really important. Here, our nouns are friends, support, and help, which are all used twice. When we use friends, which is a plural countable noun, and support and help, which are uncountable nouns, for the first time, they are undefined or unknown to us in the context of the sentence. Therefore, we use an invisible zero article in front of them. However, when we go on to talk about the specific, already mentioned, therefore known or defined, support, help, and friends, we use the definite article the. For countable singular nouns used in general, or when they are unknown, we use the indefinite article a or an. Your choice of a or an depends on the first sound of the following word. If it has a vowel sound, you need to use an rather than a. For example, an apple, an elephant, an interesting book, and an obvious choice. However, some words begin with vowels but do not make a vowel sound. For example, a university or a unicorn. Here the U makes a y sound, so we use a instead of an. But for an uncle or an unpleasant smell, we use an because the U makes an rather than a y sound. So that's all there is to choosing articles for our nouns when they refer to particular things in general. Let's review our 5 easy steps. The first step is to identify your noun. Then in step 2, you need to check if it already has another type of determiner in front, in which case you can forget about articles altogether. In step 3, we need to look at the context and decide if the noun is either undefined or defined, which means whether it is being used in general or if it is something specific or that we already know about. The fourth step is then to decide if the noun is countable singular or countable plural or uncountable. And then our final 5th step is to allocate the right article. Indefinite articles a and an are used for countable singular undefined nouns. Zero articles are used for undefined countable plural and uncountable nouns, and the definite article the is used for all nouns, singular or plural countable and uncountable, when they are defined or specific. So that's all there is to our basic rule on how to choose articles for any general or particular noun. In the next video in our series, we're going to look at what the difference is between nouns used generally and nouns used generically, and how this difference might affect how we choose our articles. So click on to continue your learning journey to master the ability to choose your articles correctly every time. See you there. Bye.